Major League Pickleball is back.
The teams, the players, the fans.
A lot to look forward to. You better be ready to go.
That is unbelievable.
Are you not entertained?
MLP is about chemistry and energy.
You're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for a city.
Crowd likes that one.
Oh my goodness.
Who is going to take the title this year?
It's Major League Pickleball, baby.
Welcome into our Pickleball TV studios. It is a big day, the 2026 MLP Draft Show presented by Skechers. Steve Weissman with a cavalcade of stars. We got the voice of pickleball, Dave Flemming. Great to have you, Dave. The coach to the stars, Matt Manasse, and current pro player and star, Jessie Irvine. Great to see all of you all here today. We also have Annalie Waters and Anna Bright coming up later in the show. Can't wait to talk to them. But every year, the draft gets bigger and bigger. What was your level of excitement heading into draft day?
Like a 10-year-old on Christmas,
Yes,
Steve. I mean, come on. I couldn't sleep the night before. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you had some of the biggest players on the board. We're going to talk all about it. A lot of money being spent. I was excited. I wanted to know where everybody was going to go. And I got to see Dave Flemming on TV for another hour, so that was awesome.
Yeah, and then a lot of new players got drafted, especially some young ones. So you can see the game is growing and evolving, and it's heading the right direction, getting the youth and the juniors involved. And I know they're super excited about MLP, so it's going to be a great season for everyone.
All right, before we get to the draft, let's get you caught up on everything you need to know about MLP. We got 20 teams this year, 6 players per roster, 9 regular season events. It goes from May until August. Playoffs now 3 weeks with 12 teams, all teams participating in a collection of 5 of the 9 regular season events. So what's your reaction to some of these new changes, Dave?
I think it's great. I think having another week of playoffs, I mean, come on, that's what you're working for. So when you get to the end of the season and you want to qualify, baby, and start out in Dallas and San Diego and let the confetti rain down in the Big Apple, come on, Steve.
It doesn't get better than Central Park.
No.
Listen, Jessie, as a player, what's it like for you having that MLP season in the middle of the PPA season?
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. Like, you know, I love playing the PPA tournaments. I love playing tournaments, but there's nothing like MLP. There's nothing like playing for a team and that energy and that dynamic. And it's great to actually have it right in the middle because I think it's a nice break. And then you kind of get to see some new faces. You see some new matchups. So it keeps it fresh. It keeps it exciting. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You've been covering this for a long time now. What's the best thing about the MLP season?
Well, there's so many, but I like that they added singles players. There are 6 players now to each roster. You can have some of those singles specialists, the Matthew Barlows, the Alex Crumbs. Now they get in on the action. So it's like a field goal kicker. If you get in that dream breaker, maybe there's someone that can make or break your team, and I think it's going to allow a lot of players to develop as the year goes along.
That helps Seattle in the Super Bowl.
That's
so
right.
maybe they can get in there, get a little love in that dream breaker. All right, to set up the draft, every team had a deadline to designate some players they were going to keep and others that they would give up. So let's look at some of the big name players that were secured. Obviously, the 2 GOATs, Annalie Waters and Ben Johns. Who stands out to you, Matt?
Yeah, look, these are all franchise players. You're going to keep the players that you're going to build the future with. Annalie Waters, of course, the 5s are not getting rid of her, although next year they're going to have to. The Sliders winning last year, Diescu, Paris Todd, you want to build your team around them. Dallas Flash, they had a decision to make. They kept J.W. Johnson, but all these players on the board, obviously the premier players in pickleball as a whole, and the teams did not want to get rid of them.
All right, let's take a look at the big names who were not protected and therefore eligible for any team to draft. We've got Anna Bright, Georgia Johnson. You mentioned they kept J.W. Johnson. They allowed Georgia Johnson to become a free agent. Then the most electrifying man in all of sports, Tyson McGuffin, he was up to be drafted as well. Some new players like Danny Townsend from Australia as well. Leigh Jansen was up, Jack Sock as well. So which player surprised you the most, Dave?
How in the world is Georgia freaking Johnson available? What are we doing? What are we doing? She is the lifeblood of that wonderful team. And to have her be available to anybody. I mean, she is when does the MVP get cut, Steve? That's what happened here.
It was potentially a questionable move. What'd you think, Jessie?
Yeah, I think Dallas thought, they were going to get her back, and it just didn't happen that way. But it's good to see this change. Like, it keeps things exciting. Like, I think everybody was tuned in to the draft. There was videos of Anna just kind of watching all the time, trying to see where she was going to go next. So it really made it exciting for everyone just to kind of see what was going to happen for this MLP season.
What surprised you with that, man?
Well, I mean, so much of MLP is about emotion. We talk about it all the time. It's different than PPA. You have to get your whole team involved. You have to be a leader at times. Georgia Johnson was the emotional leader of that team to keep the brother, JW, who sometimes can be a little bit down or just even keel, is not great for MLP. So for me, that was a huge miss, but we shall see.
As we will let you know, the prices went up this year when it came to draft day. And the Dallas Flash, they were trying to get some more money, Dave. They were on the streets. They were begging for cash. Tell us about this.
The owner, Mark Mulfin, who just had knee replacement surgery, so the crutches are real, goes out to the corners in Dallas. He's panhandling with a more money needed for Georgia. That literally happened. What fun. However, we'll see how that all worked out. Did he get enough coins into the cup or not? I don't know.
I was wondering about the crutches. I was like, did that just add effect? But it was real surgery, so there we go.
Look at how sad he looks with his little crutches.
Exactly.
Potentially could be more sad now.
Yes,
That's something we'll talk about. And for the St. Louis Shock, they had a team last year that looked really good, but then allowing Anna Bright to go and become a free agent. Last year was Kate Fahey. This year was Anna Bright.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, having Anna Bright on the board just, kind of made everything exciting for everyone. Having Anna and Georgia as free agents, like, it really kind of changed the game. And, it kind of gave all these teams almost like a new sense of hope that, we could have probably one of the best female players on our team. So it definitely spiced things up a little bit.
And this is one of the favorites last year. Obviously, they didn't win the title last year, but not a team that you want to see broken up.
And it just comes at such an interesting time, too, with the PPA Tour. Her and Hayden Patrick are going to upset Ben Johns and Annalie Waters. Her value is probably at the all-time high, not just for what's going on court, but if you look at her Instagram, probably the most engaged player on tour right now, 80,000 followers. That's great for a franchise to build around. So to let her go was an interesting move as well.
All right, we'll get to all that. And before we look ahead to this year, we got to flashback to last year and show you the top 10 plays of the 2025 MLP season. We start with 10 through 6. At number 10, Matt, a little no-way Cliff.
No-way Cliff with the backhand overhead. I hate to do it with Jessie on the desk here. Throws up this ill-advised lob off the back foot. Jessie, we know better. Come on.
I promise my lob has gotten better. I've worked on it since then just because of that point.
At number 9, Connor Garnett, Tui Nation, but this is a little different.
What is going on? It's usually on the other side of the court, but flying up there with I call him Tigger because he bounces around the court so much, and look at this. Got a Savannah Banana, hooked that in there, and he did it.
At number 8, back to the New Jersey Fives. This time it's Zane Navratil, Jessie.
Yeah, this is one of those shots where you think the point is over, you think you're done, and then all of a sudden it just lands in and you're like, oh no, look at that. Good reset winner from Zane there.
I mean, have you seen quicker hands than that?
Not many times.
No. Paddle throw, everything.
Just chuck it.
At number 7, double ATP, Maddie?
It's like a double rainbow. It never happens often. Augie, you think this is a Ben Johns highlight? No, it's a J.W. Johnson ATP. Look at that emotion from the crowd. You never see that at J.W., but this shot was electric. J.W. Johnson.
Good stuff. At number 6, Hayden Patrick and Big H and Gabe Tardio doing work with the Shock.
Yeah, we got I formation. Big Blaine Hoveniers taking on 1-on-2 there, and the swagalicious one just got him. I mean, and all Blaine can do at the end is clap his paddle as it goes by. Thumbs up. Sorry, Blaine.
Sorry, Blaine. More firefights, more action coming up later. We will show you 5 through 1. You don't want to miss what was the number 1 point of the MLP season last year. Just getting started on this MLP Draft Show presented by Skechers. Much more still to come. We'll get into the draft here from top pick Anna Bright. And the surprise of the season, we take a closer look at the defending champs from Columbus, Our experts let you know if they have what it takes to slide back into that top spot. Jesse, Dave, Matt, and Steve back on the 2026 MLP Draft Show. The Pickleball TV app is available now. Stream every MLP and PPA event, every court, and every match live and on demand. Plus, watch other exclusive content. Sign up now for a free 30-day trial. Scan the QR code to download or visit PickleballTV.com for more information. Well, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for MLP. It all starts in Big D. Then it's a homecoming for the defending champs in Columbus before heading to St. Louis. Here's a look back at the Sliders championship run.
Paris John hits the winner. The Columbus Sliders are your 2025 MLP champions.
What a moment. Pure elation for the Sliders.
Overlooked, underestimated, never predicted to win the title.
They're sliding into the record books.
Cinderella story complete.
Overlooked, underestimated. Great stuff, Mish. By the way, who on this desk picked, raise your hand if you picked Columbus to win last year?
No, not even close.
Did not.
Nobody. I mean,
Did
this
not.
was a Cinderella run. Nobody thought that this could happen. Was there one win, Dave, that stood out in that playoff run that made you believe, okay, maybe now I believe they can do this?
And it was their win over Dallas. Defending champions had dominated the year. And when you get the opportunity to be the chosen one, because they got picked by Dallas. Dallas could have chosen Texas and maybe had an easier path. And they're like, you want a piece of this? You want a piece of this? Well, you got it. And that gave them the belief, Steve, and then they were off and running.
It was wild. I mean, you take a look at this team. Obviously, they had a lot of talent on the court, but to go through the gauntlet that they did on the way to the title, Matt?
Yeah, and Andre Daescu is such a team leader to bring out the best in CJ Klinger, Paris Todd, Leigh Jansen. You don't know if that's a team that can really mesh together, but late in the season, as you said, as Mish says, underestimated, overlooked. They somehow figured it out at the biggest stage, and very impressive.
What was it like for you to watch this?
No, I mean, I think as a player, that's kind of what we want when we play MLP. We want to see the underdogs win. We want to just see anything and everything can happen, because for players, that's what we're here for. Like, we don't always just want to see the best win. We want to see the teams that are just kind of coming out from behind, and then all of a sudden they just surprise everyone. And that's just, it's great for the sport.
So a championship mindset for the Columbus Sliders entering this year's MLP Draft. Let's take a look and see who the Sliders took with the 3rd overall pick. They were going all the way to Australia for Aussie Danny Townsend, set to make her MLP debut. Dave, what do we know about Danny? What makes her special?
I love it. She's fiery. She's going to talk. One-y. Counters, and she's got sort of the table tennis action on that. This is going to be fun. My question for her is, how does she stand up against the best in the world week after week, joining the Slider Nation? I hope she likes sliders, because they serve a lot of them in Columbus. But I think she's a great addition to run it back, but just with a little kangaroo added there. I love
exactly.
Kangaroo Sliders. That's what we're going to have to serve now in Middle America. Take a look at the roster compared to last year. What do you see here, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, you have the addition of Alex Crum, which is huge. I think when it gets into a dream breaker, at the top, you have a lot of teams that could go 2-2. And when it gets to that singles dream breaker, you need a stud on your side. Alex Crum is that guy, and if he wants to rap at the end of a win, he might do that as well.
They got the rap god of the MLP, AC baby. So no more Leigh Jansen, now Danny Townsend. How does that change things?
Yeah, no, I think it's refreshing for the team. I know Danny pretty well. She actually hung out with me on my birthday. We played table tennis for 4 hours.
Who won?
God bless her. She did. She's the pro. She made me look really good. But yeah, I have a lot of conversations with Danny. I love her personality. I think her game is really, really, really good, and it's improving at an extremely high rate. And I think she's going to bring a lot to Columbus, and I think it's going to be a great team going into the season.
She was a former pro table tennis player. Both of her parents, professional table tennis players as well, but has made the transition to pickleball, the 3rd overall pick for Columbus. Let's take a look at the top 10 picks overall. With a record bid of $1.23 million, the St. Louis Shock took back Anna Bright, but it wasn't St. Louis that made the biggest shock. It was New Jersey who said, we've got 5 on Georgia Johnson, Dave.
It's unbelievable how sad they are in Dallas. They weakened a rival by taking Georgia as well. And Georgia and AL Dub together, that might be the best team in the world right there. And they're going to get better and better with all the reps in practice and then in the matches. So a stunning first 2 picks from the money standpoint, and then from what happened to Dallas versus what happened for. It's going to be a clown show.
$2 million for the top 2 picks, Anna Bright and Georgia Johnson. Incredible stuff. All right, time now to welcome one of the brightest stars in pickleball. It is the #1 overall pick in the MLP draft this year. None other than Anna Bright. Anna, so good to see you. In your words, pickleball's first $1 million baby. We saw the video. Take us through the emotions that you were going through in the MLP draft.
Oh my gosh. Well, hi, you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, the MLP draft, that first pick, it just couldn't end. It just absolutely could not end. And I feel like I started on a really intense adrenaline high. And I was like, oh my God, where am I going? Where am I going? Every time the clock would get to 10 seconds, I was so excited. And then by like 10 minutes in, it was like my receptors for adrenaline were just absolutely shot. And I was like numb. I was numb. And when it was over, I was happy. I was like hugging my emotional support teddy bear. I was like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So it was an absolute roller coaster for me. Absolute roller coaster.
Anna, I have a 2-part question. Obviously, $1.2 million to get you yesterday. Is there any part of you that's like, I need a piece of that action? I want to come home, see a Range Rover in the driveway. And then the second part, now can you go to other brands and be like, look, I'm worth 1.2. So if I want a Celsius brand deal, something like that, are you worth 1.2 now? Is that what's going on?
First of all, Matt, you're selling me short. I think it's actually $1,230,000.
Excuse me, I stand corrected.
You know that, like, don't sell me short there. You know, that might seem like chump change, but you know, every dollar counts. I actually made some funny jokes. You know, of course, like the league has to operate, and we're all on contracts and everything. But some people were commenting on my social media, like, do you get any of that? And I was like, no, but even if I did, I would send it all right back to the league anyways. So just me being funny. I don't know, maybe now I'm like bougier, even though I don't touch that. Maybe it's like, okay, like I'm more expensive now. Thank you. I don't know, TBD.
So Anna, I know you recently just went on a hike with your sister after your double goal win in Mesa. Was that like planned ahead of time? Because I feel like that's just something I would never think to cross my mind after a double goal win in Mesa to go on such an extreme hike.
Yeah, it was something pre-planned. My sister has been wanting to get into backpacking, and I've taken a big break from backpacking after my big trip after college. And she wanted to do this trail. She was kind of floating it. She's like, oh, I want to do this. I felt she was just fishing for me to say, oh, I'll do it with you, because she didn't want to venture out alone for her first time. And I took the bait. So we've been planning it for a little while. And I told her it's like a 62-mile trail. I told her, I was like, we have 3 days. Like, if you can't do it in 3 days, we can't do it. And it's just how the timing worked out. And it was actually, I was really stressed out because I finished obviously on Sunday, and I had a red eye home. We were going to start hiking on Tuesday, but my flight home got canceled. There were so many people, since so many pros live in my area. Like Annalie was on that flight, the Johnsons, Christian, Tyra. So I'm like scrambling to get out the next day at a reasonable hour and get everything ready for this hike. And it was a lot, but it was so fun. It was really fun to have that experience with her. I feel like we've gotten a lot closer in the last 6 months, and we had a lot of really funny moments. It was a blast.
Nice.
So AB, you're running it back in St. Louis again. You've been one of the favorites, if not the favorites, the last 2 years. You're the $1 million AB. What's going to be different this year so you can ultimately raise the trophy with your Shock teammates?
Oh, man, I don't know. I feel like anytime I make an unforced error, I'm just going to be like thinking about all these dollar signs floating around my head, like, oh, no, oh, no. But I kid. It's kind of like, I think I said, it's kind of like, I have to play without that pressure. It's kind of like it's not really my problem. How expensive I am, it's not my problem. But I'm super excited. I think we're going to approach the regular season a little bit differently, because I think last year we learned that the regular season is obviously super, super important, and the seeding really matters. But the playoffs, it just kind of comes down to who's going to show up, you know, in that 2-3 week span. And I think we played so well in the regular season, and we maybe put a little bit too much pressure on ourselves going into the into the playoffs. So I think we're gonna approach things a little bit differently. But I mean, in all honesty, I haven't been involved in too many of these discussions. I only got back on the team yesterday, so I don't really know.
Well, Liz, I mean, you said you might need couples therapy, but when they'll spend so much on you, it must mean something. What does it mean to you?
It must, right? It
right?
must.
It has to. It has to. What did it mean to you that so many teams, not just St. Louis, but all these teams, were fighting so hard to get you?
There were a few funny, bids early on. I think the Black Bears put in a bid. Miami Pickleball Club. I was kind of like, what is going on? But no, it was. I mean, I wasn't surprised at the Fives, throwing their hand in the mix, and also the Sliders. I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't necessarily expecting it, and I think they went pretty high too. So it's definitely really, really flattering, and I think it's a really good sign for the league in general that so many of these ownership groups do really, really care and are super invested. And I'm really excited about kind of the bias for upside. We saw a lot of younger players get drafted with our 5th and 6th picks. The Shock took a couple teenagers, Hayden and Gabe they get out of their teen years, and we go and get 2 more, which is really funny. And I'm just super excited, super fortunate, super blessed. Love that I can make a lot of like $1 million baby jokes now. So I always love when a new avenue for comedy opens up for me.
Well, listen, Anna, congratulations on being the top pick in the draft. Now bougie Anna Bright. Can't wait to see you in St. Louis take the court for the MLP season. And thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Anna Bright, one of the big stars of the MLP. So happy to see her back with St. Louis.
Yeah, they desperately wanted her for $1.23 million.
Yeah, don't forget the 30 grand. I know that's your day rate, but come on, that's true.
So, I mean, there's the intensity. I asked her at the end, can they just chill in the playoffs and play to their best? They haven't done it the last 2 years.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think she's super excited to be back on the team. I think they've built such a great friendship, not just as a team, but just off court, on court. So I think, they definitely want to prove to everyone that they got it right. And I feel like this is the season that they can do it.
All right, a lot more still to come here on this MLP Draft Show presented by Skechers. When we come back, it's the other Anna. That's right, her team that almost got Anna Bright, Annalie Waters and the New Jersey Fives, added a major piece to their MLP championship puzzle. What does ALW think of her new teammate, Georgia freaking Johnson? Find out next.
Annalie Waters, the world's best. She is a generational phenom.
Everyone cheers for Annalie Waters, so you have the crowd involved automatically.
It comes with the pressure of having to perform at such a high level when you're playing with the GOAT.
For the New Jersey Fives, did they learn from what happened, and can they come grab the title?
If you've got ALW, you've always got a chance no matter what. Isn't that the truth? Take a look at Annalie Waters and her numbers in the MLP. The overall top pick in the first ever MLP draft, 83-9 overall in games, and the MVP a couple years ago as well. We are so happy to now welcome in Annalie to the show. Great to see you as always, Annalie. The Fives, they were fighting to get that top pick, ultimately got the second pick in the draft. What was your reaction to the MLP draft?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I was hearing what was going on, I was like a little shocked at how high these numbers were going. And, I was obviously involved in some of it, but I was probably more excluded than you thought. So when we ended up getting Georgia, I was very ecstatic. She's obviously an amazing player. I feel like you can't go wrong with Anna or Georgia and MLP. They've both really proven themselves. But before we really get into the new team, I just wanted to say how much fun I had last season with Mari, Zane, and Megan. They played absolutely amazing. It was so nice to get to know them a little bit more off the court. Obviously, Zane and Mari had been with us for a while, but Megan was kind of just thrown into the group, and she did an amazing job, and we had an amazing season. So I just want to say thank you to all of them, and I wish you the best of luck this season.
Annalie, speaking of Zane, obviously he was your captain, I think the emotional leader. He's no longer there. I think people look to you now as, all right, Annalie Waters is the captain of this team. How does your role change this year without Zane? And clearly you're the star of the Fives.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly haven't really talked about it. The draft just happened yesterday, and now we have a new team. So, obviously we have Georgia. We also have Martin and Lena that are being added to our team. So it's definitely a new vibe. We've got to talk about the captain situation. I would be honored to be the captain. I haven't been the captain, though, for the past 2 seasons, like you said, and we've ended up doing really well. So we'll have to sit down as a team and talk about it and see if we want to do like a co-captain situation or if we want to pick one person or how that's going to go.
So Annalie, I know you said that you weren't that involved with the drafting process, but did you at least give your team kind of going in beforehand, like a list of women that you definitely wanted to play with, for instance, like Anna Bright, a Georgia Johnson, and you were like, hey guys, for us to, really have a good chance this season winning this title, these are the girls we need. And were you at least a little bit kind of part of that process? Or you just let them kind of take control?
I was like, I feel like I gave them a list of people last season that I was like, I'd love to play with these people. Megan was on that list. Georgia and Anna obviously on that list as well. So I don't think that list really changed coming into like this draft and trading process. Because last year, Megan and I did really well in women's. Like, I don't know that we could have done much better. So even like getting an Anna or Georgia, the margins are pretty small. But I just feel like Anna and Georgia have been able to really like elevate their team and take their team very far. So I was like, I love to have those two. Didn't know if it would become a reality or not. But so yeah, I gave them a list of women, but I wasn't like, we need to get Anna and Georgia to win. That wasn't necessarily what I told them.
So AL Dub, give us a perspective from you. You've won a PPA title with Georgia, only one time together. You look terrific. Obviously play with Anna Bright most of the time. Take us inside those matches. How are they different? How are they similar? And how will the two of you elevate the Fives to maybe win the full season title?
I know I talked to Georgia last night and I was like, little did we know we'd be MLP teammates when we were playing together in Daytona. But I was saying that, it's good we got some practice under our belt, have been under, some high pressure situations in the PPA. So coming into the MLP, I think that will help us. But MLP, as we've learned, is very different from PPA. It's one game. I feel like there's a lot more external pressure. You're playing for your team. So there are some outliers that are different. So if you're really good in PPA, you might be really good in MLP, or you might, struggle a little bit more. So they definitely don't always correlate, but I do think Georgia and I are really excited to play together, and we're hoping for the best this season. I think it's going to be good.
Annalie, I want to talk about that different type of intensity in MLP compared to PPA. Obviously, it's that 1 game to 11. What type of emotions do you go into a match, and how do you feel? How do you prepare differently in MLP than PPA?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes in PPA, I can be a little bit of a slow starter. So I really, in MLP, try to get locked in and hype myself, up for that first game. Like, I felt like a couple times in MLP, sometimes I'd go into the first match, like a little like smiley, happy, like, and then, okay, now like you're starting game time. Because, sometimes you're joking around with your team. But for me personally, I need to be pretty locked in. So towards the end of the season, like before that first game I was playing, I was like on the walkout, like pretty intense and not really joking around with anybody.
Listen, we are so looking forward to seeing you playing with New Jersey, playing with Georgia as well. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. You're an absolute rock star for our sport, so keep it going, Annalie.
Thank you guys so much.
Annalie Waters joining us, and excited to play with Georgia Johnson. They've won a title together, haven't played a ton together, but listen, you put those two on a court. Are they the best women's doubles team in MLP right now?
They might be the best women's doubles team. I don't care. Pick 2 humans on any piece of the planet anywhere. I'm serious. They're that good. So they're going to get off to such a great start. Georgia doesn't need to be the captain, doesn't want to be the captain. So it's not like if Anna Bright would have come in there and has been a captain before. So they are going to mesh perfectly. Yes, it's going to be hard for Julie Johnson, Mama Bear. Which are your Cubs are you cheering for? I don't know, but that's the problem for her. But for the Fives, this is a massive, massive pickup.
So, you take a look at the resume. We already know ALW is the GOAT. Yep. But in tennis terms, so this would be like missing a Billie Jean King Cup title or a Davis Cup title on the ultimate resume. How much does Annalie need an MLP Cup title?
I mean, I think she's just a competitor. So for her, she needs it. for us, for the resume, I mean, she's the GOAT. She's the greatest of all time. I don't know if anyone's going to ever beat her. It's probably never going to happen in terms of accolades. But I think she really needs it. I think she wants it. It's something that's missing from her resume, and now she has the team to do it. Georgia Johnson by her side, that was the missing piece. You get rid of Zane, you have Noe Cliff and Will Howells. They're good enough to get it done. They can be big and mixed. So I think this is a team that's primed to potentially go all the way.
Yeah, I think, with MLP, it is a different format. You're playing with different players. So I think for Annalie, it will just kind of show everyone that she really is the best because she's shown it in PPA singles, mixed, doubles, but she has her partners, right? So I think being able to do it at MLP, it's showing the world like, hey, I can do it with anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter who I'm with, I can win. So I think, having that MLP title will kind of really solidify that, and it will just prove to everyone that she really is the GOAT.
How do you think Georgia's going to be in mixed without her brother now?
I know, it's going to be interesting. I mean, traditionally, we've seen Will Howells with Annalie Waters, so Noe Cliff and Georgia are, I'm certain that's where they're going to start out. She's going to be great. Yes. She is probably the best right side woman we've had in recent memory. She's very comfortable over there, and she will take down the dude in front of her. She don't care. Ben Johns, I don't care. Whoever's in front of me is going to challenge me. We'll play some skinny singles, and she's going to win a lot. That's why her middle name is Freakin'. Let's go.
And I think it takes a lot of emotional pressure off of Annalie Waters.
Yes.
Now you have another girl on the team, Georgia Johnson, who can fire herself up, fire the teammates up, fire the crowd up. So I think it's great for the Fives. Huge addition, obviously.
Absolutely. I think it's great energy for Georgia as well because Georgia loves to get pumped up. And, Dallas was a little bit more calm, so I think she was always having to be the one that kind of got that team going. And now being on the Fives, they're all high energy. So I think she's going to fit right in for them. So it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Georgia Johnson with Annalie Waters, the entire New Jersey Fives team. We showed you the top 10 picks of the MLP draft. Let's take a look now at picks 11 through 20. You see the former player from the Fives now going to the SoCal Hard Eights. Tyson McGuffin getting picked up by the Palm Beach Royals at 12. What else stands out to you?
The kids.
Yeah,
I love that the kids. So when you look at 15 through 17, all teenagers, Kiora Kunamoto has done a lot of damage in singles. 14-year-old Cam Chafrin from the OH is in there. And then Will McKinnon, born on Bainbridge Island, the forefathers. He's got pickleball in his blood, Steve. Come on.
And then Tyson McGuffin dropping, so to speak, to 12 is a huge sign for where the game's going. A couple years ago, he'd obviously be top 10. He probably would have been kept. So to see Jack Sock, players like that, go ahead of him in the top 10 is a sign for what's to come on tour.
All right, let's look at the next 10 picks, 21 through 30. Some more youngsters, Jessie.
Yeah, I mean, this just goes to show you, there's a lot of new names here on this draft, and it just shows that, pickleball is becoming more popular. It's growing, that's what we want for the sport. So I'll be really curious to see just, how all of these new players coming into MLP, how it improves their game and, how they develop. And, of course, you're going to start seeing them on the PPA Tour. So I think this is a great kind of segue into that for them.
Saw Jeannie Bouchard there going to the Florida Smash, and Chris Hayworth, who is also, he's one of the best singles players in the world. How much is that a factor in MLP?
Now that you've used the whole roster, it's massive. In fact, some teams were probably looking to go, hey, let's just grab him. I mean, Chris Hayworth is number 3 now on the PPA Tour. I wouldn't be surprised if he's number 1 by the end of the year. So you have that and you go to a Dream Breaker. A lot of these matches end up 2-2, and you send that dude out because if you get a lead at the front, who's gripping their pillow tight is often the other team if you're up 4-0 after Chris Hayworth goes out there and wrecks somebody.
Is that a steal, picking up him that low?
Of course. I mean, he's going to win 3 out of 4 points at the very least every single time in every rotation. Chris Hayworth, massive steal. And then you have Elsie Hendershot, 12-year-old at number 30 there to go on the St. Louis Shock. How is she going to handle being around some of the best players in the world? It's going to be a great growing experience for her.
And she's a lefty, which adds another element. We don't have a lot of lefty girls out there, so I think that'll be cool to see.
It was an exciting draft. All those picks, each team trying to find their way to the top of MLP. All right, we showed you 10 through 6 in our countdown of the best shots from last year. It'll continue with the top shots. You may not believe who took that number 1 spot. A must-watch moment still to come.
doesn't get bigger than this.
What a stage at Weissman Rink in New York City.
As this is the talk of the Big Apple.
Couldn't be a better location for Major League Pickleball.
Well, back on this special MLP Draft show with a look at the playoff schedule. We'll start in Dallas, 3 weeks now, August 6th. How's the Flash Mob going to react to potentially seeing Georgia Johnson wearing that fives gear? Then we head to the Barnes Tennis Center in San Diego, August 13th. And as always, finish at Central Park in New York City, August 28th to the 30th. Weissman Rink, it's in the summer, so there's no ice, but gotta have ice in the veins if you want to take that MLP title, right?
You're darn right, and I mean, what a setting, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. I mean, the Big Apples for our confetti matches, it's phenomenal.
All right, it is time for a round of quick hands questions, basically a verbal firefight between our special analysts today. We start with
only finding the backhand, Jesse. I'm only finding the backhand.
I'm sitting forehand.
All right, Matt, I'm going to start with you. First question. Which team has the most pressure to get to that final weekend?
I think it's the New Jersey Fives. You have the best player in the world on your team, Annalie Waters. You have Gary Vaynerchuk, the big personality. He's put a ton of money in this team. You have Ryan Harwood. He's doing the chant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somehow I can count. There's so much pressure on that team to finally get it done. You have the pieces. You now have Georgia frickin' Johnson. So this year is the year to get it done.
How can it not be the shock, Matt? My gosh, do you understand? They just wrote a check that would buy a mansion for AB. It's got to be the shock. They've been the choice every year. They haven't gotten it done. Now there's commas and zeros everywhere. Can they get it done? We'll see. It's got to be them.
I think you're both right. I think they both equally have a lot of pressure, and I think those are the two teams you're probably going to see in the playoffs, and they'll be on the court just, battling it out for sure.
We just know Dave doesn't live in LA when he says 1.23
in mansion.
I'm like, mansion. I don't know, Dave. I don't know. Not here.
Fair enough. But, maybe it may be somewhere else. If you were starting a franchise and everyone minus Annalie Waters was available, who would you take with your first pick?
It's got to be Ben. It has to be Ben, because what he brings to your table is not just his, obviously, otherworldly skills. You get the strategic mind. You get the calm that comes with him. We've talked about a lot of these teams that are very hectic. He's calm. He's the best player. He's going to win his 2 matches. Give me Ben all day long.
Dave almost convinced me that it's not Hayden Patriquin, but I'm going with Hayden Patriquin. Look, he is on fire right now. Just won PPA mixed doubles, upset Ben Johns and Annalie Waters. I think he has all the swag. I've been working with a lot of juniors lately. These kids, they look up to guys like Hayden Patriquin. In that next wave, they want the chain, they want the swag, they want the quick hands. Hayden Patriquin, you can build a franchise around him.
I'm going to add a female in the mix.
Okay.
I'm going to have to say Anna Bright on this. Just to mix things up. I think she's shown, based off of her draft price, that she's worth a lot to a lot of these teams, and a lot of teams want her on their side. So, yeah, I think she's the one for me.
Quick hands follow-up, because the top 6 picks in the draft were all women. Are women more important in MLP than the guys?
I think there's less superstars at the top, so if you can get one of them, you really get your team off and running. So, yes.
Okay. Which pro pickleball player has the biggest boost in their level when it comes to playing in MLP versus individual tournaments?
For me, it's going to be Zane Navratil. I think he shines the best at MLP. I think he has the energy, he has the dynamic, the charisma. I think he plays his best games at MLP.
Okay.
I got to go with right here, right now, Blaine Hovenier running around, high-fiving people, slapping the butts of their GM and their coach. It's 1 game to 11. He's ripping serves, running around. He is out of control in a good way there. And he has shown, I mean, he last year as a member of the SoCal Hard Eights beat that really unbeatable Shock men's team. So I go with Big Blaine.
I'm going Yuta Funamizu.
Oh, all right.
I think MLP can build players. It builds their confidence. It gets them going. Yuta's someone that came strong last year, the first Japanese player to come into MLP. He's elevated now on the PPA Tour, so I got Yuta.
Yuta. Dave asked for this next question. Do you miss rally scoring?
Not one Bit! Let's go. Everyone at home, in the parks, everywhere is playing side-out scoring. Now, don't get me wrong. I love some Metallica. I love to do who's gripping their pillow tight when we get to the Dream Breaker. Let's not kid ourselves. But for those 1 game to 11, everyone was worried about, are we going to have the drama that we had with all the other things? Of course we did. And it is much easier for our fans. And we have so many new ones coming into Major League Pickleball. You got to have side-out scoring.
Yeah, I agree. As a player, I love just the regular format of the scoring. Rally scoring is nice, but for me, especially from a strategic standpoint, I think just the side-out scoring is just, there's more strategy, and I think it's a better level of play.
Agree. A better level of play. You see people able to take chances. They're not so tight, knowing
Yeah.
that if I miss a return, if I miss this, everything's going to go awry. So I'm all for the highest level of play. If we want the sport to grow, we need the highest level all the time.
And it's the best of both worlds, because Dream Breaker.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Right? So we have everything in MLB.
We do.
That's what makes it
There's
beautiful.
nothing else like
Exactly.
There's
exactly.
nothing else like it. Way to get the tagline in there. All right, who's your sleeper team to win the title this year, Matt?
My sleeper team, if you can call it that, is Ben John's LA Mad Drop.
What?
You have Max Freeman, Catherine Parenteau, Jade Kawamoto, and then Gabe Joseph if it does get to a singles Dream Breaker. I think a lot of people look at Ben Johns and any team he's on as of late. Okay, we're going to write him off. We don't know what type of Ben Johns is going to show up. I think 2026 is different.
Sleeper?
For me, it's still Columbus. I know they won last
defending
year.
champs are
Yeah,
a
the defending
sleeper.
champ. Well, I think even going into this season, I still think everybody's looking at the Shock and the Fives as the best teams. And I think Columbus, they have a really solid team. They have a new player, Danny, and I think, she's going to bring a lot of extra things to that team. So I think going into the season, they're not going to be seen as the favorites to win. But I think they could pull up some upsets.
I'm going to Central Florida. They got the best mascot of all. Yeah, Squeeze Nation, I'm talking to you. It is going to be must-see TV. Fetty Staxrud next to Jack Sock. That could do serious damage, plus 2 amazing singles players if we get to the Dream Breaker. So they're not going to be at the top as far as favorites, but I think they can do some damage. We'll see.
All right, those are your sleepers. If there's something that the league could experiment with, change a little bit, what would you like to see?
I think having all 6 players have to play. Okay. Every match you play, you have to strategize where do you put your players, but everybody's got to play. I think it gives a chance for those bench players to get that experience, especially the younger players that are coming in, and it'll add a little bit of extra kind of that strategy of okay, where do we put who and things like that. So that would be cool to see.
I was going to take the exact same answer, but so I'll change it. I think one time for 4 points, they got to pick a commentator or a host, put them on the court,
wow.
see if they can go up against each other, see how they handle the pressure. I want Flemming on the court, and I want him now. Let's go.
All right.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. For me, Steve, I would love to see more, sort of like the NHL did with the Winter Classic. Like, we can take the 20x44 and put it somewhere fun where we can pack in the fans.
Yeah.
So put it on a 16th fairway in an iconic golf course or something. I think that would be terrific.
I love all those ideas. I want to see Dave playing on a fairway, and then I want everybody on the team to have to contribute.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good stuff. Maybe we'll have that in MLP coming up. All right, we showed you 10 through 6. Now time to finish up last year's biggest shots. At number 5, Jessie Brooke Buckner for the Las Vegas Night Owls, winning the challenger level.
I mean, that shot to win the whole thing for her team is unbelievable. She's a great singles player, but to be able to pull that off to win the championship for that midseason tournament is unbelievable. What an experience.
You can see what it
Yeah,
meant to
the
Brooke.
emotion, yeah.
Almost fell all the way down. At number 4, Dave, Mari Humberg.
Yeah. First, the unbelievable get off the net court, and you think, all right, she's having a pretty good rally. And then, Pablito, where are you? Cover that. What a shot from the Brazilian. Mari, so much flash. I love that she got that around there.
We got a trio at number 3, Matt. So you're going to see 3 times Jack Sock doing his signature forehand.
The inside-out ATP, we've seen it so many times, and lucky for us, we get to see it 2 more times at number 3. The slow-mo. There you see Tyler Loom
Why
getting
is he
up.
jumping?
I don't know. Put that paddle in front of it. But if you're
He had to show you it wasn't locked.
what are you doing? You cannot let that ball leak out wide. All the angle there. You know Jack's going to take a forehand and paint the line. Hunter Johnson left there just putting the head up in the air.
How does he do this?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's pretty
With
amazing.
the foot back
Yeah.
there on AB.
That is something special. And by the way, that's only number 3. At number 2, Jessie, Gabe Tardio with something you don't see every day.
No, you don't. We go from defense to offense here with some. They're at the baseline. They're going to work their way back up. AJ bringing them in, and then you are going to see him go for the Burt for the winner.
Oftentimes seeing Ernie, but
Yes,
his
Burt.
best friend Burt doesn't always get the mix.
No, the Burt, you have to be extremely athletic. Extremely.
But at number 1, Dave, how about a little James Delgado?
Get out of the kitchen, James. Tweener, and then to win this rally after that is spectacular. Our boy 001 Benitez tried to go behind the back. That would have been one-upping our guy Delgado there.
The top shots of the year that was, and we're expecting even better shots to come this year in MLP. You ever pulled off a front-facing tweener, Matt?
A front-facing tweener? I have, Steve. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. And the other way, the back-facing tweener. All
He
of
had
it,
to
but
think
not
about
quite
it for
as
a
good.
second. He's like, a
front-facing tweener. Have I ever called it that? Delgado's was impressive, though. The footwork, all these players, the athleticism off the charts.
You do a tweener?
No, I don't do any of it.
Okay.
I'm not that good.
They call her like Miss Fundamental. Everything's just going to be out in front.
Yeah, I'm not.
The Tim Duncan of MLP?
I'm not that talented, no. I think I recently saw Hayden do one in Mesa between the legs, and he won the point. Yeah, no, I'm not that good.
That's what it takes to get the number 1 shot in MLP.
It certainly does, and Delgado had to get the heck out of that kitchen and pull it off, and good for him.
All right. Still to come, it is what you have been waiting for. Dave, Jessie, Matt make their championship predictions. Who's walking away with the MLP title in 2026? Find out next.
Major League Pickleball, the ultimate team competition and one epic journey to the hardest trophy to win in pro pickleball. The 2026 season takes 20 teams across the country, 9 regular season stops, and the mid-season tournament, each one a battle for standings points on the road to 3 weeks of playoffs. At each event, teams battle through group play Thursday to Saturday, facing off in high-stakes matchups. Matches on Super Sunday determine where each team finishes for the event and how many standings points they are taking home. Midway through the season, every team fights for bonus points in the high-stakes mid-season tournament, where champions gain an extra edge in the playoff race and a chance to win $100,000. Then it all comes down to the playoffs, a best-of-3 series format where the top 12 teams battle through multiple rounds. First in Dallas and then quarterfinals in San Diego. The journey ends in New York City, where the best teams face off in Central Park. The winners, they lift the MLP Championship Trophy, cementing their names in MLP history. This is Major League Pickleball. Welcome to the 2026 season.
No one breaks it down like Dave Flemming. A reminder, 20 teams this year in MLP. And welcome, Palm Beach, to the MLP party. All right, it's that time. You see the 20 teams. We've showed you who got drafted. Who's going to win it all, Matt?
It's going to be the St. Louis Shock. They have the ownership that I believe cares the most. They spent the most money to get Anna Bright, $1.23 million. You have Gabe Tardio, Hayden Patchwin, Kate Fahey, and then to top it off, if it gets to a singles dream breaker, which it may very well be if they play the 5s, you have Goins as well to just dominate. So I think it's the St. Louis Shock holding up that trophy at year's end.
It's going to be Clown Town, Matt. And here's the deal. Annalie Waters wants a full season win desperately to add to, obviously, all the accolades. And guess what's going to happen to deliver? Georgia freaking Johnson will not have the pressure of playing next to Annalie because she's done it before. They've played phenomenally. They're probably the best 2 ladies ever to play together in pickleball. So you get that out there, they're going to win the women's match literally every time. They're going undefeated, Steve.
Undefeated?
They are not going to lose.
Wow.
Those
Wow.
two are losing.
Waited to the last
second. They are not losing those 2 together.
Well, I think whoever Jessie's playing for will beat them at some point.
Okay.
So
I'm looking to break some hearts.
Listen, maybe we'll have another surprise like Columbus did last year. So many great storylines heading into a new MLP season. It all kicks off May 22nd in Dallas. Dave, Jessie, Matt, our entire team. I'm Steve Weissman. Thank you for joining us on this special MLP Draft show. There's nothing else like it. We'll see you next time.